Hey guys, it's Paolo. Now listen up, stop what you're doing, because if you haven't already, I need you to binge watch season 1 of The Other Two on HBO Max. I'm telling you, it's one of the hottest shows, and today I get to talk to one of the stars from the show, Heléne Yorke. You guys, she is so talented and beautiful and funny, and her story is so inspiring. So let's see if I can get the scoop of season 2, which starts on Thursday, August 26th. Okay, so are you ready then?
Yes.
All right, Heléne, I want to say, first of all, thank you so much for being a guest on A Spoonful of Paolo. Like, I am so excited to talk with you, really, so thank you.
Oh my God, please. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, please. And also, huge congratulations on season 2 of The Other Two. And I'm going to say the truth, just, not just because you're on our show, but really, the show, it is one of the best, funniest, positive, kindest shows right now on television. It's so good. Season 2, after 2 years, it's finally here. What does this moment feel like for you right now with the show just about to premiere, in 2 days?
It feels like a huge release, both figuratively and actually. We all had such an absolutely insane, devastating year and a half.
Yeah.
We started shooting season 2 in February of 2020, like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, showed up for work, ready to get going on season 2. And then 5 weeks into a 10-week schedule, they were like, we need to send everybody home for a couple of weeks. And then a couple of weeks turned into a full year. So just to have it out, especially because we read the scripts back in 2020 and they were so funny, and the fact that people get to see it now, I'm excited for other people because I really like it, and I think it's so nice to have another new comedy out there to watch.
It's so true.
Everyone, I think.
It's so true. It's so cool talking with you because, everyone who's been to LA, and drove on Sunset Boulevard and seen all the billboards, we always dreamed of being on a billboard. And I know with you growing up in LA, you going, your mom would take you to your dance classes, your voice lessons. And I know that years later, you see yourself on a billboard of The Other Two. That must have been such a full circle moment from when your mom would take you to these classes to where you are now. I mean, it's got to feel so, amazing? What does it feel like?
And I think that you understand this as well, better than most people, is that you work so hard and every day is not easy, and you get told no so many times. You come up against so many roadblocks, and, the daily grind, if you will, the yearly grind, whatever, of, getting where you want to go. There's just so few times when you have moments that are like, oh, wow, I did it. I'm doing it. And that's what that was for me. I was actually driving down Sepulveda or something, and I saw my billboard through the windshield, and I was like, oh my God. And I was filming it, and I filming it, and some woman drives up next to me, and she's honking and screaming at me through the window. And I was like, roll your window down, doing the roll your window down hand motion, be like, that's my billboard. And she's screaming and foaming at the mouth. And I was just trying to be excited for me. I know you're driving a little, I know I swerved into your lane, but surely you can get over it. I love it. So, and it's again, and I think that it mirrors Brooke's story this year as well, which is that it's not, it's really easy to think that being an actor is red carpets and dressing up, and it's not talking to Paolo every day. A lot of it is putting out a self-tape and not getting something, or and so yeah, having moments like that is, you try to savor them because they're few and far between.
Oh my God, you so deserve it. You really do so deserve it. In season 1, we saw your character's brother chase dreams, quit being a pop star so he can go to college. But now in season 2, we see Brooke's mom being a talk show host. And let me tell you, if there's something that I love more than a pop star, it's a talk show host. But how does this affect your character, Brooke, with all of this happening right now?
So Brooke starts out where she ends season 1, and she's Streeter asks if she wants to manage Chase with her. And she's like, oh, great, I'll be a cool music manager now. I've made it to this next step. And she's a music manager for basically 5 minutes until he decides he's going to college. So you see her starting season 2 being like determined to keep her brand being cool music, and has to, cool music, she puts it in quotation, not lame daytime, which is how Brooke characterizes it. And then quickly realizes that like managing her mom is going to be the easiest way to keep this career going. And I think, thinks that she's making this concession and realizes that she's really good at it.
Oh my God.
But then realizing the flip side of that is that it's not all it's cracked up to be. She's really just like in the dark on conference calls for long periods of time. It's like not as sexy as she thought it was going to be.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God. Helena, obviously you work with the iconic, the legendary Molly Shannon. We all loved her in SNL. We've been following her career. So have you ever, since you've been recording with you, have you ever like just go up to her and just be like, superstar? Like, have you ever done that to her? Like, I mean, because I would like have to hold it in,
Yeah, I mean, her Instagram handle is the official superstar, so it's not that she's proud of her legacy, but then genuinely touched when people talk to her about it. Or if you do like a superstar to her, and she also will like delight people in doing it for them very freely, which a lot of actors do. They're like, oh, that character's really old, I don't want to do that again. But Molly, I think, has like a real sense of joy for her life. I think that she, I should say that she's unique in the sense that like so many people get burdened by success or, sort of tired by the game of like the wheel of being in the business and get like a little jaded. And Molly gets excited to tell you that she met John Mayer at a cocktail party once and that he was really nice, and you're like, well, he was talking to Molly Shannon. And I think that her unawareness of the fact that she's this, living, walking legend, that John Mayer is probably going home being like, oh my God, I met Molly Shannon tonight. You know what I mean? But she's still starstruck by people, and it's really cool to see. It's like you spend a day with her and you go home.
Oh my God, your scenes with her are so good. Like, I can't wait for season 2 because I know you guys have more scenes together because you're her manager, like you said. But when you think back of your first scene that we saw where I think you were deflating like an air mattress and like, because you were crashing in an apartment that you were supposed to be showing to like clients, and now today you're the manager. Like when you get the script, like how excited do you feel seeing this character and how far that she's come in her career itself?
What I really like about it is that I think it's kind of refreshing to see a character do well, but that they're still themselves. I think that we have this idea that, in getting success, then, it's going to be like some magic button that we're going to be better, that we're going to be, killing it and all of these things. And that's just not the case for Brooke. Like for anybody, I can say that for myself. Like you think, oh, once this happens for me, I'm going to be this like really chic, fully realized person. And you get there and you're like, oh, I'm still crazy about the same shit.
That's what makes the show work, makes it work so well. Oh my God, I'm so glad that they casted you because I don't think, you go through this list, I don't think anyone could have played it as good as you do with Brooke, And I know you walk and with your audition, which I think is so cool. Your first audition, I think you were in the room for like 45 minutes. And then I think I remember reading you left, you're walking on 6th Avenue, calling your manager, Russell, and you're like, oh my God, I want to have drinks with everybody because they were all so iconic in the room. And then I think you were in New Mexico when you got your call back. So
how do you know all of this? This is unbelievable.
Girl, but I want to know so bad because I couldn't find this. Where were you when you booked like your first leading role in a comedy series? Like when you got that call, or were you in the room? Like did your publicist agent call you? Who called you? Like what happened?
My agent called me. My agent, Russell, his name is Russell Gregory. He's a producer as well. He produces this wonderful show called High Maintenance and on HBO, and he's just the greatest. We've been together since I was 22. He found me from my showcase from Michigan. I went to University of Michigan for musical theater, and he wanted to sign me because I was like the girl in shorts. And he cries at almost anything, like anything happy, sad. He came to my wedding dress fitting, and I was shopping for wedding dresses, and I have pictures of him just like bawling in a mask standing behind me. So he likes to call to give me news because he usually cries through it, and it was like, and I'm again like, because you're so well researched on this. I mean, I think it was just kind of like the SNL crew, all these people are so funny. And Drew, who plays my brother, is a part of UCB world, which is like the improv comedy world, which has always been, I was kind of quipped that when I moved to New York, I really wanted to take improv classes, but they were $350 and I couldn't understand how anybody afforded that.
Crazy.
And so it just sort of felt like, oh my God, I'm getting invited to this really cool party. And again, like seeing a billboard, it's another one of those moments where booking something, seeing yourself in that way is so rare to so celebrating them in the moment.
Oh my God, it's so crazy. You know, you mentioned about going to University of Michigan, but what I want people to know is that you literally auditioned to, I think, 7 colleges because you wanted to go to music or theater, you know, and study that. And I think pretty much everyone rejected you, but there were the 2 schools, I think Boston Conservatory and then University of Michigan.
How do you know all of this? This is crazy, Paolo. Oh my God.
Because I think, listen, I want people, I want everyone to understand your stories, that you really have come such a long way. You didn't just wake up and say, I'm going to be an actress, and there you go. It was like right there in front of you. You worked your butt off, and I want people to know like the journey that you've been on to where you are today. So you decided to go to Michigan, University of Michigan, and besides all the famous people going to that school, what was it that that school taught you that you can really make your dreams become a reality?
I think for me, I mean, first of all, it's an amazing program, and it's so interesting. A lot of actors that like just don't go to college. It's like I look at Florence Pugh, who's like a fully realized adult at 24, and I don't think I could find my own butt when I was 24. I needed like an incubation period to be in college, to like from an amoeba to a butterfly. I was really fortunate to go to school with people in my class, where we had this group of friends that we really just, like my friend Andrew Keenan Bolger put like a bunch of videos of us singing and doing our thing on YouTube. We were like learning how to use YouTube for the first time. We were one of the first 10 colleges to get Facebook. So it was sort of this like idea of putting yourself out there and exploring different, creating things for yourself and, kind of thinking outside the box as far as like what you are capable of. Like I did a lot of drama stuff in college, and it wasn't until really I left college that I did mostly comedy, which now feels obvious to me. But I think it was just the idea that like creativity really knows no bounds, and I'm watching other people that I was at school with delve into those pieces of themselves. Like now my friend Jake Wilson is a writer and directs music videos.
That's crazy.
My friends Benj and Justin have almost EGOTed from being songwriters, and just these incredible people just showing you that like it's just you don't really know where you'll end up.
But aren't you glad, Heléne? Aren't you glad that your mother, I think she had the flyer, because, you didn't know that you were going to go to, like, Michigan, but I think your mom had a flyer, and you saw the flyer, like, oh, okay. Like, I mean, see all these things, how they happen?
You live in my apartment, Paolo? This is psycho that you know the well-researched person that I've ever talked to in my life.
I mean, because
in Pittsburgh, and I went to an engagement party, and you tell people you're an actor, and especially for me, they're like, good luck with that.
Oh my God.
No idea of any context of anything. And you're like, yes, my mother. So we went to this, we went to a college fair, and I was not going to apply to Michigan. And she was like, you should apply here. And I made the decision to apply there. And I was literally rejected from everywhere.
Crazy.
And I think the lesson out there for anybody who is like an aspiring actor, which I know you were, and you're now like, you just don't know where you're going to end up or what you're capable of. And you're a perfect example and emblem of this, is like, don't limit yourself. But at the same time, like, know who you are. I think so much of finding success lies in, having a sense of truth of who you are, where you come from, and what makes you different from other people, as opposed to saying like, when I was in college, we were all worshiping Kristen Chenoweth. Like, you be like, I want to be Kristen Chenoweth. I want to be Kristen Chenoweth. But like, you're going to suck at being Kristen Chenoweth because Kristen Chenoweth already exists.
Exactly.
And exactly. It's the best at doing it.
Exactly. Oh, that's so good. It's so true. It's so true.
Yeah. So that's something I learned in college for sure. But, and again, like, so like you asked me the Billboard question. I'm told no at like 500 times more than not. And it's, it's exhausting, but you keep pushing through. And it's really interesting to connect to people that, don't do this. Like, think about you're going on a job interview sometimes 3 times a day, I'm being told no on all 3 for weeks on end. It's like really crazy.
It's crazy, but and all the no's that you have gotten throughout your whole career, look where they led you right now, sitting here talking to me, talking about season 2 of one of the best shows on HBO Max. Like that's just it's insane. So it's like wow, it's so huge. It's huge.
100%. But again, I think that speaks to like people ask like, what's your dream job? And you just don't know what's going to come down the pipe.
Yeah.
Like I could never have dreamed that I'd be a part of something that I love this much.
That's so crazy. I know you packed the backseat of your friend's car. You guys drove to Osteria, Queens. And so you get there, and I know you had a lot of aha moments, but there's one that I love so much is that when you were 16, you and your dad went to go see a Broadway show, The Producers. And that's when I think I read that you got the bug of the entertainment business. But tell everybody what happened years later in 2014 that really was a full circle moment for you and your dad.
It's like you've read every interview I've ever done. This is unreal. I cannot believe this. You are the greatest host of all time.
I love you so much. I love you so much. Okay, thank you.
Totally psycho. Oh my God. I'm like, Paulo is my biggest fan. Everyone, you must know this.
I'm always going to be your biggest fan, so okay, that's the truth. But thank you for saying that. Thank you. So what happened? What happened in 2014 then? That was a full circle moment for you and your dad.
So Susan Stroman is this wonderful, legendary theater director that directed The Producers, and the St. James is this wonderful theater here in New York. And I had the opportunity to be in a show directed by Susan Stroman, and it was playing at the St. James, and I got cast in Bullets Over Broadway. And so for opening night, they were like, do your parents want to sit in house seats in the house? And I was like, nope, we're going to put my dad in the balcony in exactly the same place that he sat when we saw The Producers here, however many years earlier. And there's a picture of me, if you Google like Heléne Yorke, Bullets Over Broadway, and I'm like running out for curtain call and I'm looking up at him. And it's and it was just such a magical thing. And I'm going to say this too about this moment though.
Yeah.
That was like one of the greatest experiences, full circle moments of my entire life.
Wow.
And that night I went to the opening night party and I was so positive that I was like the bee's knees, that I was the tits, that I could do no wrong. And I got in the cab with my brother at the end of the night, and I was stupid enough to Google the New York Times review of my performance in that show. And Ben Brantley absolutely ripped me apart. And in the same night to have had this like amazing moment to then be torn down in the same breath. I think that experience of those ups and downs, and especially the downs, those are the things you learn the most from. For me anyway, is to have had that experience, to have been devastated by that. And now like I will not read reviews, whether they're good or not. I will not believe my own hype. I will keep trying to move forward. And again, I'm kind of jumping around here. This is something that I've learned from Molly Shannon, is that if you buy into your own hype, you forget about what's important, which is what's right in front of you and your family and the things in your life that are, that mean the most, that have the most influence on your day to day. And like what Ben Brantley says about you in the New York Times versus that experience, it's like, who cares? It's about focusing on the things that make your life magical. And that was just, and nothing. And to this day, that's the thing I remember most.
Wow.
Is stuff about that was great.
Wow,
and so many amazing actors in that show. And,
I'm so glad Molly saw that too. That's so true. Like focusing on that is what you need to be focusing on, because that's where you are today. And I think when I look at your career, you started dancing at 3 years old, and I think your first gig that you booked was at Music Theater Wichita, and then your first Broadway gig was you played Marty in Grease, and then you get booked your first leading role in a comedy series as Brooke. I mean, come on, Heléne. You think of all this that you're saying, your whole career. I mean, could you ever have imagined? Like ever, even when you were 16 years old and you're going to see the show with your dad, could you ever imagine where you are right now, this very second, that all of this has come your way because you've done the work and you have opened that door,
Thanks. No, I couldn't have. I think I came out of school thinking I would do almost exclusively theater, and it took somebody, my manager Russell, who really believed in me to push me in other directions and get me out of my comfort zone. So no, I never thought that I would have this. It was so beyond comprehension that I would ever end up on TV at all. So, it's keep the people around you that make you feel good and make you feel like you're doing it right. That is cheerleaders, really. It's like Oprah for you, like very, not a big deal, but Paolo's person, his cheerleader is Oprah. So
Keep
her around, Paolo.
Okay. Well, that's why I'm so excited to see season 2 because like seeing Molly as like the talk show host, like I live for this stuff. So it's like even when we saw the promo, like, oh my God, this looks so good. So like I cannot wait to watch the first 2 episodes on Thursday. Oh my God, I'm so excited.
I'm so excited as well. I've seen almost all of them.
You have?
And it's very amazing to be in a show that is easy to recommend to people, and I think you're gonna really.
Oh my God, I can't wait.
Good for you.
Okay, so this is how we're gonna end it because we've never done this, but you know, someone's getting married. It's not me because I'm already married. Obviously, it's you. So we want to get you a little something that we're gonna make sure it's gonna get to you. Okay, so we got you this little thing. Can you say what that is? You know what that is, Tiffany? Yep. We're gonna.
So nice.
This is for you. So because this is virtual, damn you pandemic, I'm gonna open it for you, and I will make sure we send it to you. Okay, so I'm gonna open it and show you what it is.
Asked me to marry you as well.
Oh my God, your fiance's gonna kill me. Okay.
All I've ever wanted was to be married to a gay man, but I have to marry a straight one, which sucks.
That's fine. We could do that in like another, like in the fantasy world. Let's just pretend that we're married, okay? So now I'm gonna open the box for you, okay? And then there's something in here that I'm gonna show you that it's a special gift for you, okay? So.
Big yellow diamond that Beyonce was wearing yesterday because she's the new face of Tiffany's.
Okay, hold on a second. Okay, so this is what we got you.
No.
It's just a little something as a wedding gift. We're giving you this. Can you see?
Oh my God!
Yeah, that's for you. Okay.
So funny. Oh my God, Paolo, that's for everybody. That's the phonetical pronunciation of my name. That is.
I am so tired of people when they interview. If they say Heléne, I'm like, what are you doing, Heléne? So this is how you pronounce it, everyone, okay? This is how you say it. That is for you. And that is, you know, when you wear it, be proud, be happy, and let everyone see that, because that's how you say your name, because it's worth it.
Oh, that is so nice. This is beyond. I'm going to cry.
Oh my God. You're welcome. It's just I'm not gonna worry because this is for you. We'll send it to Michael and Charlie, and they'll make sure that you get this right away. Okay? Yeah.
Guys, that is so funny. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm so happy for you. I really am, and I'm so grateful that you're a guest on our show. There's nothing more that I love having people on our show who've inspired, you know, me. And I know if they've inspired me, they're gonna inspire whoever else is gonna watch this episode. Which, you know, you don't give up on yourself. You know, just follow the path. Whatever it leads you to, it's gonna lead you to because you are ready for it. So just thank you so much. Like, I love you.
Hello. You're the nicest person I've ever talked to in my entire life.
Oh my God. Thank you. Well, I mean so much to me, really. You're going to get me emotional. Like, this has been an emotional week, and having you on our show really means so much to me, okay? Really. So.
But are you kidding? Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for the beautiful, very funny, gorgeous gift. I can't wait to flaunt it to people.
You're welcome. You're so welcome. Okay, so remind everyone they can now, I think the first 2 episodes this Thursday, the other 2, season 2. I cannot wait. You are amazing. I love you, and just congratulations, and have fun at the wedding. Really, have fun. Take every second in. That's what, you know, when we got married 6 years ago, you know, best advice people gave me is just take it in, be present, because as we know, every day goes by. So just be present, take it in because you so deserve it. And just continue success and happiness and love for you, okay?
Oh my God, honey, you too. Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you. Love you. Mwah. Bye. Don't say bye. My husband's gonna say he's dying to say goodbye too.
Bye, Patrick. What's it like being married to the nicest person who's ever lived?